This video is a part of the 5 for 5 series made by the Early Learning Coalition of Hillsborough County. In these videos, we talk about different activities you can do with your child 5 minutes or more per day that will help them practice skills and concepts in different key developmental areas. The 5 for 5 Spring into Learning series focuses on activities you can do together that are spring-themed.
Spring is a great time to work on our motor skills because the weather is getting better. It's a great time to go outside to get fresh air. The children can exercise, especially since they're at home and they have that energy pent up. It's a great way to get some of that energy out while working on our skills, right? Our motor skills. Nature is also a great, rich sensory environment where children can learn their coordination. It's a rich environment where they can practice all of their senses while they're incorporating those skills. Now let's review what motor skills are, in case you don't remember. Motor skills are the coordinated movements of our different muscles in the body, right? Both small and large. These skills are necessary to successfully do daily activities like walk, eat, dress ourselves, right? They involve the muscles of the body. And the children need to work on those skills. We aren't born with those skills and we develop them over time. And believe it or not, we can do that with very simple activities that don't require too much effort or resources. All right. So let's talk about some fun activities that we can do at home that would develop those skills. They don't require too much. The first thing is gardening. Gardening is a great way to incorporate spring and use those motor skills, especially the fine motor skills in our hands and arms, right? We're digging in dirt, we're planting seeds, and we can use tools or our hands. Either one is going to help them develop those skills to use their coordination in their hands and their fingers and their arms while incorporating spring, because it's a great time, right? It's the season of planting and growing, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be incorporate other areas as well, not just their motor skills. So it's an overall great activity. Along with gardening, there's picking, right? It's a great time not only for planting, but for also picking things that have grown over the winter or growing in the beginning of the spring. Fruits, vegetables, flower picking. There's a lot of farms, and we're lucky that here in Florida we have a lot of farms nearby that allow people to go and pick these things, whether it's free or for a very low fee. And so we're going to include some links to help you guys find nearby farms and locations that help you guys go and do that with your kids. Something else that you guys can do, which you probably have lying around at home because we always have these things around, is chalk, right? It's a very cheap thing you can find at the dollar store, and we probably have some at home already, and it's playing with chalk outside. That's a great way for them to develop those motor skills because they have to draw, right? They have to coordinate their hands to draw circles, shapes, different figures, art, chalk art, and kids love that. You can also do hopscotch, right, which is a famous chalk activity that we all know, and that involves jumping, right? Jumping on one leg, balancing. All great ways to both use those fine and gross motor skills. Bubbles. Now this is a personal favorite one of mine. My niece is 2, and she's currently obsessed with bubbles. And bubbles, believe it or not, is a great way to practice motor skills, right? It involves running after the bubbles, right? Blowing them with the hands while they hold the little wand. And it's very cheap. You can actually make some at home yourself. We're going to include some links to help you do that at home. And you can find them in stores. I went to Five Below the other day and found a giant gallon of bubbles for less than like $5. And the wand inside is the kind that you have to move around with your hands to be able to produce the bubbles, which is even better because they have to use their coordination, right? Their hands and their movements to produce the bubbles. And it's even fun for them. It's funner for them. It's easy and cheap, and it's going to help develop that coordination. The monkey bars, right? The playground. That's something that we all most likely have very close by in a local park of ours, and it's completely free. And that's such a great way for children to work on their coordination and their developing skills. Just think, they're swinging, they're jumping, they're running, they're sliding down things. They're holding on to things, working on that strength, that coordination. It's incredibly cheap, right? It's probably free if we have a local park nearby. And kids are going to love it. And they're going to be working on that coordination without even knowing it. And it's also a great way to spend some of that energy, right, that they have pent up at home. So it's a double win. And water play. When we think of water play, we probably think of maybe like the pool or maybe water guns, which are both ways that you can use water play to develop the bodily coordination, right? If we're swimming, if you're using water guns, you're probably running around targeting each other with the water. But there's other ways you can incorporate water play. You can put toys or items into a bucket of water and have them scoop it up with a ladle or a spoon. It's going to work that fine motor skill while they're trying to scoop those things out without dropping them or splashing around. And it's probably cheap. It's cheap and it's things that you can find at home. And we're going to include some links on different ways that you can incorporate water play into your day-to-day with things that you have lying around at home.